Welcome back to another day in a new house. The name of the game today is the downstairs waste stack. Before we do that though, we need to remove all the stuff out of the way and just make a bit of room. Now this one's probably going to be a little bit more messy than the first one that we did upstairs yesterday, because there's actual plaster over this. Case in point, the hole we stuck through it when we first wanted to test it. Now, ideally what I want to do as well is try and save these tiles, so we're going to try and tentatively tap those off in the right way, just so we've got something to cover the gap up, because we're not going to be doing the kitchen straight away, so I just want to try and stick them back on the wall, just so it's looking a little bit more neat and tidy. But yeah, we're going to knock this out. Now, hopefully what we're trying to do here is, with the plumber, is actually try and narrow this box stack down, so we kind of want to see what's behind here, because ideally, ovens are going to go here, and we want to put a hood vent somewhere on that wall of some description, just so we've actually got some ventilation in the kitchen. So we're going to get the mess out of the way, and then we're going to jump into the classic time-lapse mode and get ripping this out. One thing we do actually need to be careful of, down the bottom there, we have the gas feed for the oven/cooker that's probably going to go in there as well. That is attached to the box work. So what I'm probably going to do is chop that piece of box work there, leave it in situ for the time being until the plumber gets here, who is gas safe, and he can remove that and detach it just to make sure it's all safe. But yeah, let's crack on with it. We had about a 70-ish% success rate on saving the tiles. The early ones were a bit shattery, but we got there in the end. The later stuff came off much more sort of cleanly, well, in big lumps. Problem is, it was the actual plasterboard behind it which was snapping, and not the tiles coming off cleanly. So cleaning those up could be fun, but I don't know if we've got enough reuse. But at least we're there. That's the stack. What we were worried about with the plumber was the fact that there might be a load of 45-degree angles put in here, because the boxing was like way out here. In reality, the boxing never needed to be that big. Even the plumber's just like, I've sent him a few photos now, and Alex is just like, I don't know why they made it that big. It was probably just because this little bit up here was sticking out. But we can get that much tighter, which is a great sign, because if we actually mount all that flush and square as best we can, there may be a little bit of a challenge because one of the floor joists is here, so there has got to be some movement this way, unfortunately. But at least we can get that much tidier, so we can look at actually getting some form of hood in, which is good. So I'm glad that's done. I think what I'm going to do now is just at least get the side and everything off, so the electrician everybody's got clean access. But I'm probably not going to go any further down to that section, just purely because of that gas pipe. As I mentioned earlier, I don't particularly want to mess with that at the moment, so we're going to leave it in situ until the plumber gets here. But not a bad job, not too much mess, some tiles potentially for reuse. Great success! Well, there's nothing else really exciting to report for the rest of the day. The kitchen's probably the cleanest it's ever been since I've moved in, apart from when it was completely empty, which by no means spotless, but we've at least cleaned up. And I really don't think you wanted to sit and watch me wash a load of plates. So everything's now clean and tidy, and we're sorted. We've cleaned up all the dust. I can't remember if I mentioned in the previous clip, and I haven't checked, so apologies if I am repeating myself. But the plumber is now actually going to come tomorrow afternoon as well. So I've had to rejig my work calendar around a bit, but we'll be here and then we can start making a start on this mess as well, which is great. I love pulling work forward because most of the time we spend time pushing work backwards and we're actually pulling work forward, which is brilliant. The only other thing to report is I have now learnt where the world's largest car park is, which is West Edmonton Mall, which is where Elizabeth's just been shopping. It's a it's a bit of a catch-22, I think, because they say it's 20,000 car parking spots, but then when you actually look, and I was checking online, Heathrow's got 51,000, so it's kind of caveated by the largest single parking lot, and it's kind of around the building, so I didn't realise there was such a dispute over where the largest parking lot in the world is, but I've done some research, and I now know more useless information, which may hopefully be more helpful in another trivia night. We might do better than we did in the last one, which is good. But yeah, I need to go through and do some catch up on editing vlogs, thumbnails. I've got 3 or 4 days worth of videos to do, so I'm going to sit and do that this afternoon. So we're going to be ending today's vlog here quite on a short one, but tomorrow there should be some progress with the plumber. Friday there should be even more progress with the plumber and the asbestos people. Saturday I've got haircut and I've got to go back to my parents, a few other bits to do as well, but we need to start building that platform in the loft, so loft action's going on. So I'm kind of praying for like not a wet day, because if I'm taking the insulation out, I don't want it getting wet outside, but I also don't want a humid day or a hot day, because it's going to be horrible working in the loft. So, pray to the weather gods, I guess? But that's kind of a fine line of the weather I'm looking for. I'm looking for a dry, chilled out day, which it's the UK, so let's be honest, it's not going to happen. So, but anyway, we're going to leave the vlog there, and I will catch you all up tomorrow for hopefully some soil stack related demolition replacement activities. I honestly don't know where we're going to start or how far we're going to get, but we're going to find out anyway.